How clear is your Instagram bio? Do people instantly know when they land there what it is that you do? In this episode of Unjaded, I'm going to be going through a real life conversation that I had in a boot camp that I was running, where I was helping people to clarify their message. Welcome to Unjaded. This is your straight talk, shoot from the hip, wrapped in a little bit of love, Human Design for Business podcast. We talk a lot here about clarifying your message so that you can bring in paying clients with ease. And ease is different from easy. Stick around to find out how we roll here. I'm your host, Vickie Dixon. I am a 2-4 emotional manifesting generator, light on the emotional, and I'm a quad right in human design. In real speak, I am an entrepreneur of 30 plus years. I've had every kind of business there is, and I always say that business is my love language. I can't wait to dive in with you here on the podcast. So I'm sharing this bio with permission from the person who wrote it. I am not going to name her, but you may be able to put it together if you've been in my world a little while of who she is, and she is completely okay with that. I'm going to be reading some of the things that we went through as we started to clarify her bio so that you can see exactly how clear you need to be. Now, keep in mind that this goes not just for your bio, but for anything that you're doing online. We want to remove the spiritual gobbledygook and the coach speak from anything where you are speaking your message. We want people to be able to feel your message in their soul and understand that you are actually speaking to them. And so many times in the online space, we do not do that with our messaging and our languaging. So this person's bio started out saying that she is a soul identity and life transition guide, guiding women through life's biggest transitions. Uncover your soul identity to heal, find clarity to rise into your true essence. What does that actually mean? There isn't a person on earth who is going to read that bio and go, oh my gosh, she's speaking to my soul. I absolutely need what she has. In fact, it doesn't even tell us what it is that she does or how it is that she helps the person. It doesn't identify a problem that she's actually solving. I'm going to read it again. Soul Identity and Life Transition Guide. What does that mean? What do you do? Guiding women through life's biggest transitions. Okay, how? Uncover your soul identity to heal. Do they know that they don't have a soul identity? Do they have a soul identity? What do they need to heal specifically? Find clarity to rise into your true essence. What the heck is true essence? Nobody is laying awake in bed at night, 2 a.m., eyes open, staring at the ceiling, wondering if they could just tap into their true essence, how much better life would be. So she further goes on to say that the problems that she solves specifically are helping women who are transitioning out of restrictive religious or cultural environments or those experiencing a loss of identity. She helps them rediscover their sense of self. She helps them find emotional healing and growth. She helps them cultivate autonomy and self-expression and integrate their spiritual and personal growth. Again, that doesn't really say anything. What I would love to invite you to do is to think about what's actually happening in your ideal client's life. If you were to follow her around all day long, what would you see happening in her life that actually tells you, in this case, that she's going through a big life transition and that she has lost her sense of identity? How does that actually show up in her real life? What happens when she's in line at Starbucks? What happens when she goes to the bank? What happens when she's sitting at her desk? What happens when she's making dinner? What happens when she lies awake in bed at night? What are the things that are happening that tell you that she's in this life transition, that tell her that she's in this life transition, and that she doesn't know who she is anymore? What does that actually feel like in her body and in her psyche? That's what we need to be tapping into. So part of my feedback was that this is what needs to be said. Women who are transitioning out of restrictive religious or cultural environments or experiencing a loss of identity. A lot of the rest of the stuff that I saw her using was softening language. Now, this person is a 3-5 profile in human design. She is someone who has left her religion and was ostracized by her community. This is a big part of her story. And for the 5th line profile, remember that you are here to tell it like it is. So oftentimes what happens is because we have been so conditioned not to use our voices, and because there is pain associated with using our voices because we didn't say it in the right way, or we were too blunt, or any of those things, we kind of backpedal and we add all of this spiritual stuff on top of our language for a few reasons. One, because it softens the message. It doesn't hit people quite as hard, but we need to hit them hard if we want them to work with us. And then two, because it makes us sound smarter. We can sometimes feel like, well, my God, if I say it just like simple, cut and dried, like I'm talking to an 8-year-old, then that makes me sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. But the reverse is actually true. People need you to speak so clearly. They are already overwhelmed. They are already stressed out. If they're reading your bio on social media, they're looking for help. They're not just there to pass time. They actually want to see what it is that you're doing and how you could help them. So let's make it clear. So we got a little further. I know a little bit more about this story than I'm saying in each of the things here, but you'll get there as we go along. Something like, I help ex-Mormon women untangle beliefs and understand themselves so that they stop feeling lost and confused, fearlessly creating the life that they want. That's better. It's still not there. This was a whole conversation that we were going through in the Facebook group. So I'm not going to take you through every little detail of the conversation, but I just want you to see how we just keep digging a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper to get where we are. One of the things that she came up with was, I help women who have lost their identity and are transitioning out of restrictive religious and cultural environments. And then I'm going to always add the so that. So this bio is missing a so that. People want to know what is on the other side of that. So in the end, what she came up with, and please remember that it's never the end. We are always tweaking our bios and our content online because we're always responding to the needs of our ideal clients. And our ideal clients are always changing because we're always changing. So never think that because you just landed on this thing and this is your bio or this is the tagline that you have on something that you have to have that forever. You can always evolve it, but just get as clear as you can in the moment. So what she came down to in the end of this long conversation that we had was, I help ex-Mormon women untangle beliefs and understand themselves so that they stop feeling lost and confused, fearlessly creating the life that they want. My last feedback for her was, if you can possibly put it into first person, do that. So that sounds more like, I help you untangle old beliefs and understand yourself. Do you hear how that makes you think, oh, she's here to help me? So then she came to, I help you untangle old beliefs and understand yourself so that you stop feeling lost and start creating the life and the relationships that you want. That is so much more clear. I'm going to read the two of them for you again so that you can see how the clarity moves someone closer to working with you. So she started with Soul Identity and Life Transition Guide, guiding women through life's biggest transitions. Uncover your soul identity to heal, find clarity to rise into your true essence. And she ended with Ex-Mormon, I help you untangle old beliefs and understand yourself so that you stop feeling lost and start creating the life and relationships you want. That is the kind of clarity that we need to have in the online and in every other space. So take a look at your own bio or your own tagline, anywhere where you're speaking online, where you have buried what it is that you actually do in language that the average person cannot understand. Really challenge yourself to keep refining it and refining it and refining it until you get down to the actual problem that you solve, that the person you're helping actually has and can recognize in their real life. Because they need to be able to read it that way in order to understand that you are the person who's there to help them. Don't make them work so hard to hire you.